The misunderstanding of effort. There is a belief that is praised so often it has escaped examination. The lie that fortune is random was addressed in the last episode. This episode addresses the lie that replaces it once people accept that fortune is responsive. The belief is simple, and because it is simple, it is rarely questioned. The belief is this: if you work hard enough, it will pay off. This belief is not entirely false, but it is dangerously incomplete. And incompleteness, when acted upon long enough, becomes a trap. This episode is about effort. Not to dismiss it, but to put it back in its proper place. I am Fortune Reigns, and this is Fortune. Effort is necessary, but effort alone is insufficient. Effort is the entry requirement, not the reward mechanism. Most people never hear that distinction clearly. They are told effort is virtuous, effort is noble, effort builds character. All of that may be true and still irrelevant to outcomes. Most people treat effort as currency, believing that if they deposit enough labor into life, success will eventually be returned with interest. But life does not operate like a savings account. It operates like a signal field. An effort, when misdirected, does not amplify signal. It distorts it. Distortion looks like activity without traction, movement without leverage, noise without response. Why effort became overvalued. Effort became sacred because it is visible. It can be measured, praised, compared, and moralized. Visibility makes effort socially useful. You can reward it publicly. You can shame its absence. You can structure entire systems around it. Societies that depend on productivity elevate effort because it is easy to manage. You can tell people what to do, how long to do it, and when to stop. But what is easy to manage is not always what produces the highest return. Effort became a proxy for worth, and proxies always fail under pressure. When When worth is confused with effort, people protect effort even when it stops working. They defend the process instead of questioning the position. The effort paradox. Here is the paradox most people never resolve. The harder someone pushes in the wrong direction, the more exhausted they become, and the less likely they are to stop pushing. Effort creates momentum. Momentum creates attachment. Attachment makes re-evaluation painful. Stopping feels like betrayal. Rest feels like regression. Silence feels like failure. So people double down. They work longer hours. They add more tasks. They stack more goals. And still, the results remain flat. This is not because they lack discipline. It is because discipline is being applied to a misaligned vector. Misalignment does not collapse immediately. It erodes slowly. That is why it is so difficult to detect. Effort versus leverage. Effort is linear. Leverage is exponential. Effort asks, how much more can I do? Leverage asks, where should I stand? One question consumes energy. The other redirects it. One unit of effort applied in the wrong place produces fatigue. One unit of effort applied in the right place produces compound return. This is why two people can exert vastly different amounts of effort and arrive at opposite outcomes. The difference is not character. It is position. Position determines what effort means once it is applied. Why most capable people struggle the longest. Highly capable people are often the slowest to change direction. Why? Because competence masks misalignment. When someone is skilled, intelligent, and disciplined, they can survive bad positioning longer than most. They can compensate with effort, but compensation delays correction. The longer someone compensates, the more their identity becomes tied to effort itself. Letting go of that effort feels like failure, even when it is only rational move. highly intelligent people remain stuck, while less capable but better positioned individuals advance. Fortune does not reward suffering, it rewards coherence. Coherence makes capacity legible. The myth of deserving. Another hidden trap in effort culture is the idea of deserving. If I've worked hard, I deserve success. Deserving is a moral concept. Fortune is not moral. Fortune does not ask who deserves what. It asks who is positioned to receive. Reality does not distribute outcomes based on fairness. It distributes outcomes based on alignment. Understanding this is not cynical. It is liberating. Once you stop arguing with reality, you can start working with it. Effort as signal noise. When effort becomes excessive, it often signals uncertainty rather than commitment. People push harder when they are unsure whether they are in the right place. Effort becomes a way to drown out doubt. But doubt is not the enemy. Misinterpretation of doubt is. Doubt is often an instruction to reassess position, not to increase force. When doubt is ignored, effort escalates. When effort escalates, signal blurs. When signal blurs, fortune cannot respond. The role of restraint. Restraint is effort's counterpart. Restraint asks, what should I not do? Where am I leaking energy? What actions dilute my signal? Most people never ask these questions because restraint feels passive, but restraint is active intelligence. Restraint sharpens signal. Effort spreads it thin. Fortune favors those who know when to withhold as much as when to act. Withholding is not hesitation. It is collaboration. Withholding is not hesitation. It is calibration. Again, withholding is not hesitation. It is calibration. Why this matters for wealth. Wealth is not accumulated through effort. It is accumulated through leverage, timing, and access. Effort may build skill, but skill without position rarely builds wealth. This is why many skilled people live modestly, while others with fewer technical abilities control vast resources. It is not injustice, it is structure. Understanding structure changes everything. Once structure is understood, effort becomes precise instead of exhausting. The reframe. Here is the reframe that dissolves the effort trap. Effort is preparation. Position is permission. You prepare through effort. You receive through position. Confusing the two leads to exhaustion. Separating them restores clarity. Clarity is what fortune responds to. Closing seal. If effort alone created fortune, the world would look very different. Hard work would be evenly rewarded. Persistence would guarantee arrival. Fatigue would be proof of progress. But reality tells a different story. Effort is the cost of entry. Position is the determinant of outcome. In the next episode, we will examine why visibility, not effort, is the most misunderstood force in modern success, and why being seen is often the fastest way to lose power. I am Fortune Reigns, and this has been Fortune. Fortuna, Favet, Fortibus. Fortune favors the bold.